Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Great to be here. It's a great pleasure to be speaking at the Hong Kong Economic Forum again. I did this last year, and I'm pleased to see so many people, so excited, and especially in such a good day. And I say such a good day because, first of all, the markets are good. That's great. I mean, they're coming back. Number two, many of you know I'm from Argentina, and so I had a long night. But it was a very positive night with positive results, so I look forward to Today we will have a chance to hear insightful discussions about one of the most exciting economic ecosystems in the world, an economic ecosystem that Hong Kong is at the heart of. I'm referring to the Greater Bay Area, or GBA as we know it. But first, I'd like to speak more broadly on the opportunities that the GBA presents for Hong Kong as an international financial center. No doubt, many of you are very familiar with the great potential that the GBA promises. It's an increasingly interconnected region with capabilities in international finance, professional services, research, innovation, logistics, aviation, manufacturing, and many more. It has a population of more than 86 million people and a GDP that is quickly approaching $2 trillion US. It is also a launchpad for many international businesses into the mainland domestic market. But if we step back a bit and take in a wider view, we see that the GBA is also at the forefront of several of the world's most important megatrends. First, the exponential growth of the two-way capital flows between China and the world. Second, the flourishing of innovation and the growth of the new economy ecosystem. And thirdly, the global sustainability agenda. Let me start with China's two-way capital flows. Right now, China has significant untapped pools of capital looking for ways to diversify. As its economy grows, its household will increasingly allocate more wealth and a greater proportion of that wealth away from real estate and bank deposits, where it's mainly concentrated, to other asset classes, and in particular into the capital markets. At the same time, China has been continuing to reform its capital markets. And international investors today are very underinvested in China, and similarly, domestic investors are very underinvested in the global capital markets. As a result of these factors and a number of other drivers, China's onshore capital markets are expected to grow to over $100 trillion US in the next decade. We call this tectonic change the Big Bang of finance, and it will reshape the global markets for decades to come. Now, how does this relate to the GBA? The GBA has all the right conditions to be a sandbox for the Big Bang of finance. As mentioned, it is an economic powerhouse. The Guangdong part of the GBA is one of the most affluent and developed parts of mainland. It has around $600 billion US in annual retail savings, and almost 300,000 high net worth families owning over 10 million renminbi in assets. It is also the area where China tested many of the economic strategies that helped its opening up since the 1980s. The first special economic zone was established in Shenzhen. So with its increasing affluence and its history as an economic pioneer, it's not unreasonable to expect that the GBA will be front and center in the Big Bang of finance. We expect that it will account for a significant proportion of the massive two-way capital flows in this region in the next decade. We can also expect that it will become one of the world's wealth management and risk and asset management hotspots. And we can expect that it will become a testing ground to pilot renminbi internationalization. And the exponential growth and diversification of China's capital markets will also be a force multiplier for other megatrends, such as innovation. Innovation is changing our world at an incredible pace, and China's innovation engine is running at full speed. We can see it in the number of patents being filed, which is the most in the world. We can see it in the startup culture, over 250 unicorns as of last year. We can see it in the hundreds of thousands who return to China, bringing with them years of valuable experience from scientific fields from across the globe. We also see it in financial markets, where new economy sectors mostly continue to outperform broader equity markets. This trend is being fueled by strong policy support and seemingly endless supply of talented people in science, technology, and business. People with ideas that will change our economies, industries, and lives. And many of those people are finding their way to the GBA. They are drawn by the innovation happening in Shenzhen, the world-class universities and the international financial hub of Hong Kong, and the vibrant startup ecosystems of both cities. It's like having Silicon Valley and Wall Street in one place, and this is incredibly unique. This area is already a global innovation cluster to watch. Shenzhen, Hong Kong, Guangzhou is the second most innovative science and technology cluster in the world on the Global Innovation Index. And the megatrend of innovation is closely related to the megatrend of sustainability. The road to net zero carbon is a long one, and it will require a lot of both innovation and capital. This is especially true for China as the world's fastest growing economy and the largest carbon emitter. The GBA has world-class credentials in both innovation and finance, and it has a heritage in pioneering important developmental strategies for China. It will therefore help to lead China's ambitious sustainability goals. And that would put it at the forefront of the global sustainability agenda. In fact, as the international financial center of the GBA, Hong Kong has already been designated as the region's green finance center. The importance of the GBA to megatrends such as the Big Bang of finance, innovation, and sustainability is obviously great news for Hong Kong. The city already has an established and unrivaled role in facilitating the two-way capital flows between China and the world. Many of you here will appreciate the magic that happens when the right people, ideas, and capital come together. And as an IFC, Hong Kong made this magic possible. It is the most international city in the GBA. It offers global investors and issuers a financial environment that is part of its economic region, but that is also familiar and trusted, from its legal system to its financial infrastructure, regulatory regimes, tax regime, professional services, and talent pool. And to the investors and companies in the mainland, it offers proximity, cultural alignment, experience, and critical international connectivity. So what has HKEX been doing to support and tap into this exciting future of the GBA? In short, we have been building connections, channels, and foundations. For example, the listing reforms we introduced in the primary market in Hong Kong in 2018, this significantly enhanced the connections between mainland China's new economy companies and international capital. Building on that success, we made our listing regime more flexible to encourage Greater China companies to conduct homecoming secondary listings. And in October, we announced a consultation on a new listing requirement for specialist technology companies, making it easier for innovators to access international and global capital. In our secondary market, we have been strengthening connectivity between the capital markets of the mainland and Hong Kong with our Stock Connect program. Wealth Management Connect allows GBA southbound investors to allocate their assets globally. In the last few months, the Connect program has entered an exciting new chapter with the launch of ETF Connect and the announcement of Swap Connect, and the announcement of adding renminbi trading counters in Hong Kong Stock Connect will further reinforce the city's position as the GBA's global renminbi business hub. But we think the potential game changer is the announcement of the inclusion of Hong Kong-listed international companies in Southbound Stock Connect. For the first time, international businesses will be able to tap directly into the pools of capital of the mainland, big pools of capital, hungry to explore opportunities. International issuers will be able to get unique access to an untapped pool of capital directly through GBA's offshore international market, Hong Kong. This and other initiatives are foundational. They lay the framework for the future. We have also been cultivating a sustainable finance ecosystem in GBA. In 2021, we took a minority stake in the Guangzhou Futures Exchange. In July of this year, we established a Hong Kong International Carbon Market Council, bringing together leading regional organizations. The insights and the partnership we developed from this enabled us to get to the next step, and it was a very significant step. In October, HKEX launched Core Climate, a new voluntary international carbon marketplace. This is a major milestone in developing Hong Kong and the GBA into Asia's premier carbon trading hub. These are some examples of how at HKEX we remain committed to supporting an ever more robust, comprehensive financial and investment ecosystem across the Greater Bay Area. An ecosystem developed from the right products, platforms, and partnerships. So we have these interrelated megatrends, the Big Bang of finance, innovation, and sustainability. These are trends with global implications, but they come together in one place, in China, and their point of their intersection is right here in the GBA. Many of the world's economic powerhouses are coastal areas that have grown into super cities over time. Capital always wants to connect with opportunity. But in the case of the GBA, you also have policy support and consciously coordinating this organic process. And that will help the GBA become much greater than the sum of its parts. It's all about connectivity. I hope I have sparked your imagination about the exciting possibilities and opportunities that the GBA can offer, and I hope this whets your appetite for the next panel. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the event.